Hello everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining me for my craft and chat on a Wednesday. It is so good to see you here and I'm really excited to share with you my project today. Let me know where you're joining from and what you may be up to today. Maybe you are on a lunch break at work and catching some crafting time. And thank you so much for joining me, and if you're catching the replay, I'm thankful that you are able to share with me today as well. So just bear with me. I am making sure that I am where I'm meant to be, and you can catch me on Facebook or YouTube, and it appears that I am not on Facebook. So I'm just going to share the link to my Facebook page. Just bear with me. Sometimes things don't go as quite how I wanted to. It seems okay. Maybe it's just a little bit slow. Today I'm sharing with you the Perfectly Pears Suite, which is one of our newer releases into our online exclusives range. And I'm going to be sharing with you some watercoloring techniques. So I hope you enjoy it and the tips I share with you. I apologize that I'm taking just a bit distracted here. I'm trying to share this video because I seem not to have gone live on my Facebook page, and then if you are watching me on YouTube and not on Facebook, and those waiting for me on Facebook may be missing this, so I don't want them to miss me. All right, so who has got the Painterly Pears Suite? Let me know. I was kind of a little bit late to the party in the sense of it wasn't one that grabbed my attention first, and however I am glad I got it now because I really love the colors in this suite. And let me show you. I didn't realize when I got this until I got it. I only thought it's got this large pears. It's got those cute little ones as well, and they work really well for cards too. Of course, you can make your scrapbook pages, but these ones are sometimes if you don't want a really large element on your card, it's a good way to use the smaller ones. The dies have lots of extra bits as well. You can use there's this you can die cut, plus there's the smaller flowers, which I'll be using today. So we'll start with some watercoloring, as I think we need it to dry before we go further with the card. So I think that's the best way. I'm just going to pop a piece of paper here just to stop that glare there, hopefully a little bit. Right, so what I've done, I've got a few colors that I think might work, but to start off with, I'm going to stamp on in Stays On the Saddle Brown. Now Stays On ink is good for watercoloring, and so we have the black and the Saddle Brown in our range. So I thought the Saddle Brown might just work better for the colors I have chosen. I've also got some ink refills, and these I may add to it, but I have got Lemon Lime Twist, Old Olive, Calypso Coral, and some Daffodil Delight for coloring. Perhaps I've got a bit of Real Red. I think we may need that for some shading, but I'm going to wait and see how that goes, because sometimes you do need a bit of color on that. So I've got my stamp mounted onto my D block, and we shall stamp this on Fluid 100, which is a watercolored cardstock. And it is, I love this cardstock. It's really good, absorbs the color well and gives a good, if you really like saturating and creating those nice washes, this is perfect for it. The bundle in itself is, for the Perfectly Pears bundle, is $73.75 in Australia, and the Painterly Pears Suite, which gives you some embellishments, some ribbon, the bundle, which is the stamp and die set, and also the beautiful designer series paper, that's $129. Over the next 3 days, so starting today, tomorrow, which is Thursday, and the 25th, which is Friday, you can get free shipping. Now, to get free shipping, your order has to be a minimum of Australian dollars 65. That's before shipping, before like their retail value. So there's free shipping on orders of over $65. Now, if you do have stamping rewards and you're using that, it's after you take all that into account, your stamping rewards, the coupons, the things that they're using. So your 65 comes into effect after that. It's a great time to shop. I have got my cart loaded, ready to go. I'm going to do a final check to see what I need and add some things in there. So perhaps it's a good time for you to augment your stash while it's free shipping, because our shipping is $6.95. It's reasonably cheap, I think, but it's good to add some save. Even that, it's $6.95 or 6%, whichever is greater. So it does save you some money there, especially when orders start getting a little larger. It's going to save you. So I'm going to stamp 3 lots of leaves here, these double leaves. I may not need a lot of it, but I'd rather have it ready while I'm preparing, so that when I get to assembly, it's a lot easier for me. So I'm going to pop some color into this refill, into this palette, which I've got. This palette is part of our clear glass, this glass mat. It comes with it. So I'm popping some lemon lime twist and a bit of old olive for some variation in that color. Put them aside. We can get to coloring. I will add a bit of let's definitely a lot. I got a bit more than I need there, probably, and just a touch of the Calypso Coral. Okay, so it's World Watercolor Month in July, so it's fitting that we should be doing this today. So get a water painter or a brush that you can use with watercolors. That's my wider one. I think I want to go thinner one. I probably should have checked which one was working better. I haven't used this one in ages, so maybe I'll go in my newer ones. Oh, it does have some water. I'm lucky. So with water painters, you just squeeze it to get that water out. All right, let me bring this into camera a bit better. Bring that in so you can see. So I'm going to start with my, maybe push that out a bit so you can see me loading my color. That's lemon lime twist. And I'm just giving it a good wash there, not loading it too much. I did put a little bit much. I got a bit excited. I didn't need the refills, go a long way. And normally I put it in the little cover of my stamping pad. This time I didn't. So let's fill it up again. Just tap off. And as you load it, it comes really kind of getting a little bit of depth there. Just releasing a little bit of water. And all right, let's go to the next one and give that time to dry a bit. I find this so relaxing and just such a beautiful way to just color. It's so relaxing. And I love that you don't get the same look every time. So it is definitely something to try. So I've created depth by picking up more of the darker color there, or it's the same color but adding more, and while it's wet, I do a lot of wet on wet, and sometimes when we don't need so much color, then I'll do dry, but it just depends on what project I am working on. This one seems to need a little more of the wet on wet technique. And as it dries, it'll give you some beautiful coloring. Even this, I love the look. You can see that lighter shading there. Okay. All right, so then we're going on to, I'm going to leave that to dry a little bit, and then I may add some of this old olive to give the leaves more of the old olive. All right. All right. So there's differentiation because sometimes it's all green and you do need some variation in it. So I'll go a bit darker at the base. Letting that run a bit because I want that to dry a little bit because I felt that was a little bit dark. Pushing that out. Because it's a smaller surface, you probably don't need as much water as I had there. So and then we can go back in, and I don't mind a little bit of white space on these leaves just to create that look. It has a more arty feel if you have some white space and more sketchy. I didn't have it on the pears, but it does give you that a bit of a different look again. And I'm doing this first so that while it's drying, we can do anything else to that card when we assemble it. Going a little bit darker there, and I'm releasing a little bit of water into the and again, if they're all not the same, it doesn't matter because it is a leaf and they do vary. So, and of course, it's art. I will probably add a little bit of brown or something here, but I'm just being sketchy in a good way. A bit there. All right, now I can go back to the first one I worked on and add some depth in there. If you're enjoying watching, enjoying the coloring, please subscribe and share it to a friend who may enjoy some crafting. If you live in Australia, you can purchase the products from my store. I will have a list for you today. I haven't got one at the moment, but you can hop on and see the Painterly Pear Suite. It is available there. And during our free shipping, you can take advantage of that promotion. Plus, if you order over 65, you get the free shipping. But if you order 100, you're going to get the free card kit using the Celebratory Sips. You get a kit to make 4 cards. And those cards, I can tell you, if you know my style, you can see the videos up on my YouTube channel. They've got lots of technique. They have got lots of layers and texture. So you get everything to create those cards. We'll bring in a little bit of this lemon lime twist. Get it clean. So this one I saturated a little more. You can see my pear is taking a little bit of time to dry. That's all right. I can use my heat gun and just speed it up a bit just for the process. But I do like that it's left all those pockets, I guess, of concentration or uneven lines there as it's dried. It's not too much, but I'll take that. So I'm bringing my heat gun to set this and just I'll give it a bit of a quicker dry. I do love the variation. I'm going to be doing a little bit of old olive on the pear as well, but I do like that variation in the color. That's shows you can have green and green all on the same page, and it's just going to give you some lovely shading. And all I'm doing here is drying this a little bit faster for saving time. You could do a bunch of these, leave them and go do other stuff and come back to it. All right, so that's dried sufficiently for my purpose. I'm going to bring in a little bit, and did say I did have too much yellow here on refill. I didn't need that much, but I'm going to add some, and then we can always add more. Really could have left that lemon lime twist, but I just want to bring in a bit of that Daffodil Delight in there just to add variation into that mix. And now you see that change there. It's subtle, but it'll just add some. I just drop that and let it flow into that wet area there. It's going to pick up where I'm dropping that color. I love it. Okay, so as I said, you've got to love what you make. Then I'm going to bring in this old olive here just slightly because I want it to blend in to that color just a little bit. Right here. Again, blending it nicely. And with watercoloring, just a little bit of patience, and I'm just stippling a little bit of water. Sometimes I just mix it there. I'm going quite dry. There's water already, so I don't need to add too much. It's just going to give you that really very realistic kind of look. So that's added some depth into that green. I'll go back with my Daffodil Delight here, which is a yellow tone, and add that here. So you can do this whatever colors you've got. I'm using Stampin' Up colors. That is my preferred choice, and you might have refills or paints that are similar in color, and you can get them out and have a play. And if I will be die cutting this, that's why I need it dry before I go ahead. I'm going in some of that lemon lime. I'm a bit iffy about it here because I don't want it to mix too much. And yeah, that's better. I didn't want too much of that yellow, and it did mix a bit too much. All right, now for some of that old olive. Watercoloring is beautiful, beautiful technique, and just so much fun. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. It's very forgiving. Like you can see, I've gone over that line. Each one, it's forgiving because it doesn't have to be the same. And you think, oh, Rochelle's looks like this, I have to have it. No, you don't. It's just how it is and how it turns up. So don't worry about that. And I'm just added water there just so that mix is there. How and you can't see that differentiation in the line. It's coming together with the coloring, which I really love. That even has some better coloring, a bit of extra color. I can see that a little bit murky, so I'm just going to tap that off. It was looking a little bit dirty there. We don't want dirty pears. And right here, I am going to add a little bit of lemon lime twist. Just to get rid of that line, and that's perfect. I'm just moving around so that water, which is there in a little bit of a puddle there, we can move it around so it doesn't leave this big mark. I kind of decided on this watercoloring. I didn't even at that time click, oh, it's still I did some watercoloring at the start of the month, and I didn't think, oh, this is World Watercoloring Month. It's still July, just barely, but it will be July 31st soon enough. We'll be into August, and I'm looking forward to July 31st because on the 31st we get to see our Stampin' Up annual catalog, not annual catalog, mini catalog, and that is live for customers from September to December, but we get to see it on July 31st. Now, if you love to see things early, you need to come join our community. That is one of the perks I just love, getting to see all the products early and being able to buy it early because we get to purchase from it like a whole month early. So on 31st we get to see this, and then actually, this particular catalog has a lot of Christmas stuff. So I love Christmas and I'm pretty excited about that. Can't wait to see what is there. And I've got to be careful with this. I don't want it ending up where I don't want it to be. So this is a silicone mat I was using. I didn't mention that. This is all one I had. So it's a little bit larger than the ones we have currently. We have smaller ones available. So I'm going to leave this a little bit longer so it gets nice and dry. And then we can go ahead and cut that out. I am feeling, yeah, we do need the leaves anyway for that. So that's what I needed. I didn't even think about that. All right. So let's do a sentiment. Let's make a sentiment. What shall I do? I'm kind of going rogue and I don't know. The sentiment's hard when I don't have what I'm thinking of doing. That's okay. So I will show you what I'm actually following a design from the Global Design Project challenge this week. I've got some old olives. So let's die cut some leaves for just to start off with, and we can get that done. So these leaves are beautiful, and we'll cut a few. It's always good to have more. Like I always say, have more, then you can not use them, but it's better to have more. So we'll do a few. And if you need, then you have them for the inside of the card, for the envelope. And if you don't use it on the card, you can use it on your other. Oops. I am still here. Just had a bit of a moment. Okay. If you don't use it on your card, I keep a little, not a little box, it's accumulating a lot of stuff, but you can create, like get all your bits and pieces and just pull out something and go, okay, let's create a tag. Let's create a central or a focal point for a card and just mix and match the colors that work well for your card. That's a good way to just use up your scraps or backgrounds or extra bits like you may die cut from things like this. There is no need to waste. Even little, I've kept like half labels and things like that because that's really good for creating clusters for your scrapbook pages or your cards. Like, especially if you, like me, like adding lots of layers or lots of layered clusters into focal points and things like that. It's always good. That's my little tip for you today. do about 5, and I'm pretty sure I will need 5, but and sometimes you can even just cut half, and sometimes when I use them, sometimes I break it up, like cut only a section. The colors on this Painterly Pears, the paper is just gorgeous, like vibrant, and at the same time rustic. It's got that secret sea, and combined with those greens and that, I think it's got Darling Duckling, and then the Cajun craze and that sort of calypso coral feel. It just looks so nice. Did want to add a little bit of calypso to my pear, so I may still do that once. I just wanted it to dry. You don't want it to get real murky and dirty. I'm trying to make the best of this. Let's do it there. Just a little short. So let me bring the pears back in. Right on that. Because I had a little bit of this calypso, which I did not use, and I think I wanted to use that just very lightly. So I'm getting, well, I'm not sure whether I should. I'm just getting a feel. It's a bit bright. And see, I'm testing it very lightly, so it goes, and then you can always add more. But I think watercoloring is just beautiful. Just adds, I can even use that color there. It's going to give you a bit of a shading of that orangey tone, because in the paper I'm using, it does have a little bit of orange, like that rustic look. And as I was speaking about that rustic look, and then I thought, oh, I didn't use that color which I had wanted to use, so that's what made me think about it. So I thought I'll use it like that. I'm making this one a little bit darker. And you can place, like, depending on how the color turns out, one can be behind, and you can mix your colors, right? And my brush is semi-wet. It's not overly saturated. I have, what is left on this is what I'm using. Now to diffuse that edge, I'm wetting my brush. It's clean, and I'm just going in with it just to give it a bit of a diffused edge. But that with watercoloring, it does turn out real nice. Are you allowing that little bit of orange? I am. Orange or calypso coral. Can do pockets of darker shading. and like there. And you can always add a bit of yellow, which we did before, and tie it in a bit. That's kind of where we added that in. Again, just going with quite a bit of water there, saturating that. Adding my lemon lime twist. Or difference there. Or blending it further into that. So I thought I had put too much lemon lime twist in there in my refill, but I have used it. So it has worked out well. And I'm happy with how that, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I was able to get that rust look, which I wanted in there. And all right, now for our card, I'll leave that to dry and then I'll die cut it in a little while we assemble the base of our card. So for my card is a Secrecy card base, and it's just a regular card base. I'm scoring it at 10.5. And give it a burnish with your bond folder. I have got some, making sure I'm following this. I am following a sketch, a global design project, and I have got 2 little strips. So your actual card base will not be visible, but I do want that darker card base just to, so it's not stark if any of that base comes through. You just want to not be, because sometimes if you use a white, it might be quite stark. And you don't want it to be seen. So then I have got a piece of designer series paper. So that's the paper I am using. I'm pretty sure I have 2. But it's hiding somewhere. Let's see, I got that. You know, where are you? You can always cut another piece. Watch. I have no idea where these things go. All right, so we've got that's going to be there, and that's going to be there. And we had one little piece here, which was, I can't remember what it was. I think it was 2.5 or something. Might have only been 2. I think it was 2. Let's do 2.5 just to be on the safe side so we're not short. Well, okay, there. Let's cut this on this side. I've already got it ready, so 2.5. Maybe I had good intention to cut it and thought I did. So rather an easy sketch in that sense for you to follow. And so we can start sticking on some bits. Might as well. So this goes up the top. I'm starting with the outer. Use that as a guide, your cutting mats or your glass mat, then you kind of know, okay, that's straight. Make sure nothing's sticking out on that side. That's another guide. If you have cut your cardstock straight, nothing's going to be there. Then we will stick this one down here. We've got a larger piece up here of the designer series paper, which is beautiful. I love how it looks against with the secrets, the background there. It's very striking. So a lot to be said about our designer series paper. The quality is really nice and thick. It's not thin and it doesn't bend easy. It's just, it doesn't, it's not flimsy. It's quite a thicker designer series paper, which is really nice for creating your boxes and things as well. So it's nice to have good paper to work with. So the next one I'm going to do, I did have a smaller piece of cardstock, which I thought that might be better, and I think it might be just a little bit there. And I thought I'll put a piece of very vanilla, which I'll cut down a little bit in there. Now for the very vanilla, I do want to emboss it. And it's just a matter of working out which embossing folder I want to use. And maybe I will use this, and the fact that I have got some length, I will use the larger piece only because let's see how this goes. I'm going to go this way, and it will shrink it a bit, but that's okay. We can cut down some of the margin. There's always a way. This is the mini corrugated embossing folder. And while I have gone on the length, so it does give you a bit of bigger margin because it pulls in that embossing, right, this particular folder. So I'm kind of going to eyeball it. I think I need about a 0.7 off. That's pretty good. That's a good eyeballing, I think. Look at it. It's not too bad. I think so. It's good guesstimate there. All right. So we can, oh, actually, no. Let's do some blending. I think it needs some blending. Where is my yellow blending brush? my blending brushes, I reckon it falls or something sometimes. All right, where have you gone? Is it on my desk? Does your desk sometimes do this? Consumes things and just makes things disappear? No, yours doesn't do that. Alrighty. You know, I used it a lot for our virtual retreat. We were using Darling Duckling. It was one of our colors. And well, it can't have disappeared far, right? For sure. Oh well, I'm gonna make do with the color. This is not, this is like that rust color, but I have a feeling with watercoloring everywhere, I am not going to mess with that. Let me try to get this a semi-clean. Oh dear. Because but it's rather interesting that, move this close to me so I don't damage anything there. And where is Darling Duckling? Speaking of Darling Duckling, I think it might be in my pile of stuff for the retreat. Not virtual retreat. I was gonna say no. Yes, it is the retreat. Don't worry. This is a normal craft room thing. I'm gonna check what it says. It's alright. We can use. Let me see what I can use. A bit of daffodil light. Oh, nice little day. It's a yellow. May not go, but it's okay. Just adds a touch of something. Something. You'll watch. It's here. It's probably just here near my, right on my craft desk. It's just a touch of yellow, guys. It's alright. Don't panic. That is all I'm going to use. And it had a touch of brown anyway in that, so I'm all good with that. I will survive. Because really it's just to give something there. And we can add maybe some Darling Duckling splatters on it. What do you reckon? Okay. I'm still looking for it on my desk. Ah, there it is. I found it. It's good. All right, we've got that. I'll leave that, and then I'm going to take these little dots and we'll stamp some splatters. If you love splatters, you can splatter in different ways. You can splatter with your pen, your stamping blends, your stamping white markers, with stamps. So good. So I am going with that, right? Done a lot of splatters. Done that. These here ready to go, and we can, I think, do some die cutting. So this one's gonna go straight in the center. I do feel this one's a little bit crooked. You know, sometimes things go a bit, I think have I stuck that down? Yes, I have. So I'm going to show you what I do when I find that it is supremely crooked there. I'm going to release that just with my heat gun. I could have put it just a bit straight there, but I'm going to release that. And be patient with this. It will happen. And I know what I've done. I've just moved it while I'm looking for my darling duckling. Probably that's what I've not paid attention to where my hands or anything was. I think that's my worst, like with crafting. Sometimes I tend to move things around and then it goes crooked. It's just the worst. So just release. This is just heating the glue and it will release it enough. And I may have to do a little more, but we'll just see. I'm closing my glue. So you've got a bit here, which you can put your thing under. It's not released yet. And I'm not worried too much if it rips, but it shouldn't. See how that's just released really nicely? It'll be easy now. It's getting there. Just on setting one, okay? That's it. And this part will get covered because I was a bit hasty, which wasn't just why that ripped, but the rest of it is all right, fine. Now I need to look at this properly because the bottom was crooked. That's what's happened. The bottom doesn't worry me too much. I can trim that. I'm going to overlap that a bit because I think that's where the issue was. Okay. We have done that, and that will just sit in the center there. Lovely. Now that's coming together. Got my base done. Just maybe give it a bit of a press so you have that nicely glued down. We've got some beautiful leaves ready to go, and we can die cut this. So give it a one final hit over that. So we have got our die to cut that. And I will cut that. loves eating pears? Are you, do you love pears? I like them when they're just right. I'm not a fan of trying to work out when it is right. Because when they're not quite ripe, they're not great. But I do love the taste of them. Is there a way to tell when they're ready to consume? Because sometimes you feel they look okay and they're like hard as rock. I guess that's crunchy, but I prefer them when they're nice and soft. Okie dokes, we're getting there. We're trickier trying to stick these down onto like the fluid 100. I think sometimes I find. Make sure that's stuck on so we don't have any issues of things coming off. So don't forget, you can place your orders today, tomorrow, Friday. Get my days right. For free shipping, you need to have a minimum of $65 after any coupons or anything that have been applied. It's a real good chance to save some dollars. Any saving is good, I feel now, and you get to enjoy a craft, right? It's sometimes it's really there's so many expenses, and I get that, and you need some me time and see some products, and anything that you can save is good. With regards to shipping, maybe you can buy some cardstock with that, some extra cardstock or glue. So something that you need, in your craft stash, like envelopes. Those sort of things are essentials that we all need, and when you have free shipping, take advantage of it so you can perhaps add something else that you really need in your stash. And things like glue, it's a good time to stock up your cardstock. Just be aware you need to, if things run out or get out of stock, you will, there's no, you won't have the ability to rain check or something like that. But if they're available, you can have it. So that started moving around. The other leaf was a bit out of place, so I might just trim it down. And for this card, that embossed panel I used very vanilla. I just thought the very vanilla did go quite well against the deeper colors, and it does have some in the designer series paper as well. So it toned in nicely. A second leaf and one more. So really we only need 2 for the pear on the front, the pears on front. If you're loving this suite, and next month my card creation series, which is the series I hold on a Sunday night at 8 o'clock, will be on the Painterly Pears Suite. So come join me. It's at 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. I will be sharing a new card for 4 weeks. And this is where you can get the kit to make the 4 cards free. This Saturday is a free card making class by the Stamping Lounge. It's a Christmas card making class, so come along. You do need to register, so you can get all the information for that, and where you can just that we need that information for sending you out your sneak peeks and your Zoom links and all that sort of fun. We are having a great time over on our exclusive Facebook group where you can participate in some the party has started, I would say. I was going to say pre-party fun, but we're having a bit of a Christmas in July excitement there. So come on and have fun. If the class is valid at $24.95, you are going to get it free. Anyone can join. Bring a friend. Ask a crafty friend whether they like to join, and we would love to see you all there. It's just going to be so much fun, and we cannot wait to share. So our Stamping Lounge is 3 friends, Kayla, Mahesari, and myself. We share lots of fun inspiration, so we would love to see you there. Okay, I'm trying to work out whether I even need these leaves, but as I said, you never know, it's the better to have them. I'm just cutting these out because I was a bit wonky when my cutting, and I'm going to leave them like that. All right. For a sentiment, I am thinking wood. I think something. A good friend is a gift. I think that is a nice sentiment that will work beautifully on this card. Now, the trick is, what color shall I stamp it on? I did use Calypso, but I think Calypso might be a bit much. I have got some, maybe this with some Secret Sip. But if at all, I'm going to add some Calypso Coral blending on this. Maybe. But this time I might use some red. We'll see how we go. I'm using my famous Daffodil Delight, which is now Calypso. I am adding the blending first, just to see. See the secrecy. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's okay. So it's got a touch of color at the bottom. But it needs a little label of sorts. I'm just flicking through what I've got. But the texture notes, that might be okay. There might be a smaller label. There. Yeah, that's good. And then with the balance, I'm going to cut out some of these teeny weeny flowers which you get in the die set. Wonderful. We've got that, we got that. Do you like how this card is coming together? Let me know. And whether the Painterly Pear Suite is on your list of things you are buying or you have got. And would you recreate this card? Is that something you like, the colors, or would you change up the colors? And I will cut the, I didn't realize, I thought they might cut separately, but I'm going to cut that 3 times because I do want them, and I'm feeling I may need 3 of them or even 4. So this is my style. A lot of the time I just craft on the fly and just go with things, and you get to experience my creative process, and how sometimes my brain works, so it doesn't work, and how we end up with why my card ends up, or why my card ends up the way it does. I don't mind that at all. It's just a fun process. This is what I enjoy, the process of getting your card to where it ends up. It's the picking the colors, and that's the joy in card making. Picking your colors, picking your design, working out what technique am I going to blend, am I going to watercolor, am I going to make it simple, am I going to add layers, or am I going to who am I going to create for? What do they like? It's all those choices. We have so many choices, and that's the fun of it, I think, and that's what I love, the ability to make decisions like that. And then no matter what the decision is, you are going to enjoy the process, and then bring someone so much joy with what you make. And that is something I love doing. Okay. All right. So we have got our, I'm thinking putting it like that, one down, one up your sentiment there. And maybe I will add some of these leaves, but I feel they need to be a bit, yeah, smaller. So let's do the sentiment first, because that's where I want my sentiment, and I am going to be guided by that as to the rest of my card, my positioning. So I picked up on those colors for the petal pink there. So this, let's put some dimensionals and get it ready. And I'm adding my dimensionals in the center so that when I want, if I need to put some leaves and things, I can. So here I am kind of going to curve these leaves a little bit so we have some natural look about it. Just 2 sets there for our pear. It's a little bit there. Here's going to go in there. Now, if you leave your glue just to sit a little bit, it does become tacky. Then, like a bit of a rush, I guess. I'm just doing it a bit quicker. If you wanted to leave it there, if you want to give that smudgy look, just perfect for what you need. Right, so let's put down one. The process is getting there. Right? Okay, should I do something there? Maybe something there, right? Just to fill in some gaps. Okay, one there I feel. Okay, let's put one there. These are beautiful leaves. Then we're going to put that, and I'm tucking that in a little bit under there. And we have some thing offset with the pear. All right. Loving that. Okay. Now let's put some other leaves through. I'm just loving how the colors are just what I've picked up through this actual suite, and it has helped me design this card. So you don't need to overthink it, and it'll just come together. And definitely having beautiful sketches helps as well, for sure. I think I am going to get rid of that little guy. Yep, that's going to go in beautifully there, just to give some leaf element. I love it. Lots of leaves. And this is where I feel you cut them apart. For this particular card, it's working better. So I had one longer piece there. Then I can put a little section there. So you're getting depth with your pears being the main section. And then we are having these little leaves just falling in and giving background and sort of forming a base for your card. Okay, so I'm working these in, bending those leaves so they look more natural. Some of these are going to fit in here, I think. Love. I'm going to add some cup. I was going to put it somewhere else, but I think these sort of things work really well in between your Now if I decide, no, I don't want it there, which I might, I'll still stick it in there. Even here, you can have something there. Because if you look at a pear tree or whatever, or any fruit in a tree, the leaves are going to be all around. Any fruit tree, you're not going to get like it stuck at the top and no leaves at the bottom. They're going to be in amongst the leaves. So let's make it look more natural. And you don't always have to make it look more natural. Sometimes we do things that are just more fun and with elements, because that's what it's card making, and you can do whatever you like. That's what creativity is about. And in this case, that's what I was going for. I'm not sure about that look, and I am maybe tucking it under further. So now I'm going to move that a little bit and stick those stems down, because I've had a chance for my, sorry, I'm off camera there, I know. Stick it down a bit. I'll get rid of that glue there. Love those leaves, and I just love how that's turned out. Just following a sketch has helped me so much, just doing that. I'm going to get my glue eraser. So be careful with the watercolouring, you don't want that to come out. All right, that'll do. There are, I should say, there is a ribbon, but I'm going to leave that out on this card. I'm going to have some of these here, and I'm going to attempt something, because we can, and try things. Now I am going to be watercoloring. This is basic cardstock. There is no, this is not going to absorb any water, but I'm just going to try a little bit of, if I'm very careful, it will work. So I didn't use red as I planned, and I'm just going to, because I've already got the color out, I thought I'll just do that. Just don't oversaturate, it's not absorbent cardstock. So I wanted to add a touch of the lips, not dip it in, just touch. All right. Now I've got the yellow as well. Let's see what happens there. Yep, that's good. So I'm doing this on, I die cut it from, what was it? Darling Duckling? Yeah. So just giving it a bit of a squishy. It has a fair whack of water, but not much. And honestly, I think doing it on the Pretty in Pink, oh goodness, I'm getting my colors mixed up. Petal Pink is a lovely sort of a mix of color and has that nice, I think, mixed shade. Well, you're going to get a nice watercolored piece of, and not too much mix and match there. They're still using the same colors. A mishmash, I should say, not mix and match. And then I'll add a bit of in the center. For someone who said they didn't want to do a lot of watercoloring, I've done a bit, haven't I? Perfect. You can do it on your glass, but or whatever, but I'm leaving that to dry. Happy with that. Let's get a piece of very vanilla for the inside. How are you liking that, guys? Tell me. Now, you may, like me, have lots of very vanilla cardstock. This is a good suite to use it on, guys. Right, so we've got 10 by 14.3 there. Stick that card down and we can get a piece of the designer series paper to go down there. I'm going to put a mini dimensional under there because I don't want those leaves to bend, and I think there might be. So let's avoid any problems by putting a mini dimensional there. Yeah, just under, like not towards right the top. If you can help it, just sort of at the towards the middle or base. It'll just help it, at least then the top's still sticking up, but it'll stop the bendy. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now we've got a piece of cardstock. I don't think I showed you that. Goodness, did I not show you those flowers? I was messing around with it. I didn't even realize they were not on camera. I was just watercoloring and kind of messing with it and put Calypso Coral and Daffodil Delight. I used Daffodil Delight because I did not have my Darling Duckling. Now, Darling Duckling has gone, refill, it has gone onto my order for today because I desperately need it, and I've used it so much. Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, they really have been used so much. This is probably one of the in colors I have used the most, like so quickly. I have to say, I never run out of like the ink so quickly with in colors. It's not even like what, it's been 2 months and I have used it unbelievably quickly. I can't believe it how, yeah, so I must like it, which is good, I think. 10. They are beautiful. What's your favorite? What have, or you kind of can tell, but what have you been using the most, I should say? Because I have used the Secret Sea. I have had to buy an extra pack of Secret Sea. So that's one I have used, and I do like the color, but I have used that a lot as well. But then I also use that for a class, so that could mean another reason why I used up a lot. But definitely one of my colors I like. I actually like the whole lot as in a combination, right? And when we first saw the colors, I thought the one I would be using the most was Cloud Cover, and it is probably, as I looked at it, I thought, oh, that is my favorite. Like my first initial pick was Cloud Cover, which is a beautiful color in itself. I'm pulling this out of this. I don't want anything to melt on there. And I will do a bit of a dry. Don't those colors look nice together? The little flowers, like really cute. I think they look so nice. And this is just done on petal pink. So they do, it's got a base of, what do you, like a color to it. Now, should add some in here and add some in here. I don't want it to look like weird, so I could even add some here. If it doesn't suit it, I could just do it on the inside, like I turned out. I could even cut apart single ones, which is probably what I want to do. Okay, so just a little, bring it in my, maybe one there. Oh, that was a bit of too much glue. Even there. My voice is going, guys. This one. Happens when you talk too much. This one. Maybe cut apart these two, then we've kind of used. Alrighty. Just one on the leaf. There we go. And we'll do another one. Number 5. Where shall we put him there? Trying to get that triangle shape and just placing it in such a way. But you don't want them to be too far apart as well. And that's kind of a nice spot, I think. You could add more as well, but I think that's really nice. Apologies for my voice going really weird. Now, so our inside is done, and when I do, I will finish off by adding that extra leaf I had. I was going to say when I find it, but it is here. And we can just stick that down in there. My little cat is making funny noises. Yeah, that is Honey Rhoda. You can add a pear, but I don't think you need to. Add a few flowers to finish that off. And then, of course, we do have to add some embellishments at the front, so don't let me forget that. There's special ones in this suite, so ones that coordinate. This is really nice. And the sparkly ones. He's not a good one. Wow, they're being difficult. Here we are. Let's pick one that's nice. Just adding my glue. There. Can even just add one just to save some time. I'll do one. Okay, so let's get some embellishments and embellish this card. They are called low profile dots when I do find them, but I kind of forgot about getting. I think that's because it's the last thing we do sometimes. I do forget about getting them, but I do love my embellishments. This card hasn't got ribbon, but it will have some sort of embellishment. If I can't find my low profile dots. Okay, let's have a browse. I did use them for our class. For something I use them. I can't remember what. Let's see whether I've got it in a drawer somewhere. No. I've got these anyway. I've got a bit of mix and match. What I'll do, just for now, I'll put something that when I do find them, because they will turn up. It always happens when things like this get on the line and you just cannot find the ones you want to use. You can find everything but them. And when I take the photo, you will see what they're meant to look like. Even these might be nice, my darling ones. That's nice and bright. So let's use them and see how that looks, okay? I wanted something nice and bright. Oh, I do know where I put them. I'll put them in another spot. You know the safe spot? Yeah, that's it. See, I do know what I did. When I put them in a different spot and I said, you watch, when it comes to this time, I will forget where I put them. And what do you know? This is low profile give it a low profile sparkle dots, and they are part of this suite. They're pretty. You get that's Sacred Sea, Garden Green, and Darling Duckling, I think. Are you going, no, she's just using too many embellishments. Yeah, doesn't they look pretty though? And we've got lots, there's lots in the different colors though. I think it looks nice with all those embellishments. Adds your little sparkle. We've done. I hope you have enjoyed that. Let me just cover that right so that's not glaring. That's our card for today using the Perfectly Pairs or the Bundle and the Painterly Pears Suite. I hope you have enjoyed that. I will be sharing the tutorial to my newsletter subscribers in our next newsletter, which goes out next week. So if you are not a newsletter subscriber, make sure you subscribe and you will get that tutorial. Watch it in conjunction with this video because you will obviously want to get all the techniques I shared for creating the pears and watercoloring. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been lovely having you here. Have an enjoyable rest of the week, and I will catch you at my next video. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.